Alright. We're into game 2 now. Hell yeah. Game 1, obviously, between Seed Super Sirs and Team TKAG goes in the favor of Team TKAG after they pulled off a pretty ridiculous comeback and took the game. That was crazy, man. It was a really, really good game. So if you haven't watched it, you should go do that, I think. Skip this. Fuck this game. I don't even know what's going to happen, but it's probably not going to be as good as what happened in game 1. So uh, that was just really impressive. Because, I mean, Sweet Super Surge played really, really well for about 45 minutes, and things just got, all of a sudden, they lost a fight at Kongor, and the game turned. And that's sort of what happens when you take those games late, is it takes one team fight, and you're just like, crap, we had such a lead, and we built it up for so long, and we were so far ahead, and we could have won this game, and then one bad fight, and all of a sudden that's GG's. So we'll see what happens in game 2. Hoping for something similar. I kind of doubt it's going to happen, but we'll see. Bans are out: War Beast, Scout, Ophelia, and Keeper of the Forest. So similar. I think those are the exact same bans as the first game. 3 suicides taken out plus Ophelia. So nothing surprising there. Lots of strong suicide options removed from the pool, plus the Oath ban. Once again, not a big surprise because she is banned out very, very often. That is going to allow Team TKAG to first pick that Wretched Hag. Of course, last time Sweet Super Sirs played it, and Sweet Super Sirs will play Engineer. So I believe, yeah, last game that was on the side of TKAG. So these guys apparently are switching sides and switching heroes. So there's different. That's good. But obviously both those picks make a ton of sense. NG, probably the strongest support in the game at this point. But there has been a patch since this is Diamond Cycle 9, and so there has been a patch since, and he's gotten little nerfs. Perhaps Rhapsody's a little more powerful, but regardless, he is a very strong hero. So they're in Wretched Hag picked up over here for the Legion side. So they're can be run as a support, usually run as a right clicker. So I'm assuming that Jade Monkey is who is their carry player, is going to be on that hero in the short lane. And that suggests Hag will either be in the mid or the suicide. So we'll see where TKAG chooses to put that hero. Obviously very versatile and can stick in any role. Grinnick's going to be the 4th pick overall, and second one for Sweet Super Sir. So 2 heroes now that really have defined roles. We've seen Grinnick short lane, I think, like once or twice, but he's really a suicide hero. So that's going to be a support engineer, NG, a suicide Grinnick, probably a dual lane support NG. So we're looking for second Sun in the middle. Pestilence is available, very powerful combo, of course, there. Gauntlet's up. Flux is available, so I suspect it'll be it'll be Pesty or Flux, but we'll see. Of course, last game the Hellborn team in TKAG, that was last game, obviously, ran the NG Flux combination, had some pretty good success with it, and it is instead going to be Parasite. So choosing to pick up the jungler, that makes a ton of sense as well. Now they can ban out Tempest and prevent TKAG from running a jungler, so I assume Tempest will be an initial ban here. And I'm thinking TKAG's going to take out the Pesty and the Flux, possibly the rest of the mid-initiators, just because between Hagslither and Bubbles, it seems like they've got all their farmers in their lanes, so they're just looking for a couple of supports at this point. And they're going to ban out Tundra first, makes some sense. Probably not the first guy I ban out, but a decent enough hero, and is a little annoying, was certainly very helpful for TKAG last game, and apparently they're feeling like your opposition might be interested in picking him up. I'm not sure he's really the greatest fit for this lineup. I think they need a little more carry potential there. And there you go. There's the Pesty ban, so that's why I expected that. And I'm thinking it's going to be the Flux last ban here for TKAG. Hellborn probably going to take a couple of supports out of the pool, as they have theirs, and Parasite is available, so perhaps Witch Slayer, Torturer, Pyromancer, Master of Arms. I would expect 2 of those 4 to be banned. Maybe not Witch Slayer so much. He doesn't get banned that much at this point. Maybe Empath. That could be possible. But certainly, I think Legion looking for a couple of supports with stuns, because at this point they've only got 1 in that Bubble Scout field. And that's a bit of an issue, so Kraken instead going to be the ban. So maybe tdN on the Hellborn side is figuring that they're going to pick up, or they're going to run Slither as a support hero. That would be a little strange, I think. It's not really often done, so I'm not really feeling the Kraken ban there. Pesty Ravener last ban, tons of sense. Forgot about him, but that makes plenty of sense. That is going to be their final ban though, so Flux is available, and the Hellborn team can pick him up, and I really fully expect that to happen. NG Flux combination is very powerful. Having a tank like that in this Hellborn team is going to be very nice, because Grinnick's Parasite Engineer not very tanky themselves, so if they can grab Flux, pick up a nice short lane carry that does well in team fights, particularly with that NG field, Moon Queen, Sand Wraith, Corrupted Disciple, Dampier, all very powerful options. We'll see which one they choose to go for. Draconis is on the board. You could go ham. Kronos is an option. We know that the Hellborn side does like to run Kronos, usually in that suicide role, but they can certainly short lane him as well. Dark Lady's available, so Dr. Repulsor. Lots of options there, and so I assume they're going to be looking for both a mid hero to pair with NG and a short laner that can handle the lane by himself. Cthulhu can be the last ban there from Hellborn. That's just weird. I guess they're ensuring that Legion can't run a jungler. Especially because of the Kraken ban, it seems like they think that this Slither is either going to be, or that the Legion side is looking for another farmer, and that's an EW. Most people will be like, what the hell's going on there? That's probably going to be a support Emerald Warden, which I like. She's a decent enough carry, but lots of single target damage. Isn't that adept at team fighting. And as a support hero, she actually does fairly well. She has a 5-second silence. And the Hunter's Command, the Wolves, are actually pretty powerful. Plus, using the Overgrowth spawns to block camps is extremely good. So Parasite probably going to have a lot of his jungle blocked by those Overgrowths. And should do pretty well on that EW. Going to be a Magmus. Okay, Magmus Engineer mid. I can certainly deal with that. That's not a difficult to understand pick at all, especially considering Hellborn team does not have that much team fight, and Magmus's ult will help fix that a little bit. Especially considering Legion's got Bubble Slither and Wretched Hag, lots of team fight potential, and Hellborn's suppose need to make up for that issue. I still think Flux is the better pick here, but Magmus also grants them a stun. They don't have too many of those. Grinnick, Shadow Step, and Engineer Keg has a couple, but Parasite does not have one, and Flux wouldn't have one. So Magmus pick certainly making plenty of sense, and we're looking for another support here, I think, on Legion's side. Gotta be somebody with a stun. That was my Facebook, yes. Don't worry about it. They have no stuns here except for the Kelp Field, which is like a really short one unless you run out of it, and it's only up every 85 seconds or something like that because, it's Bubbles' ult. The Overgrowths, I guess, you could sort of count as a stun, but it's not really one. It's more of an immobilize, and, you can kill it, so it doesn't really last all that long. So we're looking for a support here with a stun. Pyromancer, Torture, I think, are the obvious candidates for that. Witch Slayer also a potential, so is Nymphora. But they have 25 seconds here, and I'd really like to see, I think, Tort here. Tort or Pyro. It really depends on what they feel like they have enough I think they have enough single target damage. I think they've got enough gank potential. EW Bubbles and Wretched Hag should be fine. Adding Tort to this lineup, giving them a little more team fight potential, especially considering the Bubbles ultimate being able to lock people down, and so there's spreading. Okay, this is going to be a support Silhouette. Never mind. Silhouette does bring a stun, of course, but I don't like that. I don't like it very much at all. This Legion size 5 ranged. Nobody's tanky. And you're picking this into a Grinnick's Parasite. Slither normally would be a little tanky because very often he'll go more tank-oriented builds if he's in the farm role, but this is going to be a support Slither. And I don't like this. Flint Beast Blade winning the last pick over here, so that's certainly their short laner, and I don't really have any problems with that. They have Magmus to add the stun, and Flint will give them tons of carry potential, so I was expecting that, short laner. And Hellborn's lanes are fairly obvious. Parasite in the jungle, Flint in the short lane, Magmus Engineer middle, and Grinnick's in the suicide. Theoretically, they could run a Magmus suicide, but that's pretty much not going to happen, I don't think. It really wouldn't make a lot of sense. Legion lanes are a little more difficult to figure. Kindman is on that bubble, so I suspect it's going to be a suicide Bubbles. Jade Monkey's on Silhouette, not a surprise. He'll be the short laner. Hag is going to be mid. And is this going to be a tri-lane? Yes, it will. I'm almost certain this is going to be a defensive tri-lane from Legion, which is not going to do that well. Grinnick's is going to be mildly annoyed by the slow and the silence, just because, Riftstock won't immediately be able to be activated, and even if he gets away at low health, the tick damage from the dot is not going to be, is potentially death for him. But I just don't feel like he's going to die here. And it is Flint middle, Grinnick solo short, so they going crazy here. This is going to be Magma Suicide. I like this less. I don't like the lane decision very much at all because I don't... Okay, and so EW is going up top to place the traps. She has Overgrowth level 1, and she's going to block out Parasite's jungle, but of course Parasite's going to counter that by going, Legion jungle's a thing. What's up, buddy? I can just switch jungles. And it does block this camp. Perhaps should I put it over here, because that can still get tripped by walking over it. If you put it over here, you need a Rev Ward and the Flying Courier to block it, because you can't actually walk into it. I mean by over here, I mean up on the hill on the cliff. Obviously I have my mouse disabled so you can't see it. I probably should change that, but second Overgrowth going to go over here to block another hard camp. Or sorry, it's a medium camp. I know what I'm talking about. And we'll see how aggressive EW gets here. We're just going to put the 2 down. Not that surprising. So 3 camps may block here. 2 actually, no. There's no word from Hack, so the pole camp will not be blocked. A little surprising. Regardless, this is, like I said, going to be a defensive tri-lane down here. So Silhouette, Solar, and EW. Or is this going to be jungling Emerald or something? He's blocking his own camps now because of Parasite. Okay. And this is going to be a mana pseudo tri-lane. That's what it is. And Flint's middle. This is just weird. And I don't like it. First of all, Bubbles can kill Flint here. Perhaps before he gets to 6, and definitely once he gets to 6. Flint will die. Because he's slow, he has no escape mechanism, and he's slow, and he's squishy as hell. Secondly, Parasite's going to have a bit of an issue in the jungle here because, look, they've taken some precautions here, blocked all these camps with their own wards, in fact, and Parasite is basically going to have nowhere to go. So he's going to wait for this camp here, it's not going to spawn, he's going to realize, oh crap, they blocked everything. He's probably going to head back to his own jungle because there's really nothing for him to farm here. And then realize that a couple more camps are blocked because EW's Overgrowths really address jungle heroes very, very well. On bottom, we're going to see this develop into a defensive tri-lane, so... actually, I think he used his... No, he didn't use his voice push. I don't feel like Magnus is going to get too much here because he's a melee hero looking for farm against 3 ranged heroes. So if he goes to the line like that, he's going to get harassed. The Toxicity and Relentless Salvo, those auto attacks coming in are going to do a lot of damage. So, I mean, Grinix in this situation would be content just to do nothing essentially and grab experience. He wouldn't get any CS basically. He'd get the occasional one because Rift Stock allows him to do that. But for the most part, he'd be locked down. Magnus has no such luxury. Silhouette actually has taken quite a bit of damage down here and is forced to pop a health bot, but, you know, so more trees left from Siller, and EW has no regen, so perhaps they can force the Silhouette out of lane. I sort of doubt it. Up top, meanwhile, Grinix is putting a bunch of damage on the Hag, but this is also potentially a lane that Hellborn could lose. The Haunt coming out from Grinix, and Grinix can certainly kill this Hag, but I wouldn't consider it extremely likely. And you don't really want to be in the situation where you're like, yeah, we could lose our short lane to the suicide. And we could very well lose our bot lane as Ward of Rev goes down to spot out the Steam Bath, but the Lava Surge from Magnus and he'll get out of there. He has no mana now, so he basically can't go to the line. And this is just a problem. Because now Magnus is going to get nothing. He's got no mana. He can't Lava Surge, he can't Steam Bath. He has to play so defensively now, or die, that even with the lack of stuns here on Legion, they can certainly kill him. And look, he's going to take even more damage there, and that's just... There's so much range, and there's so much harass potential that this is not a good lane for him. Meanwhile, in middle, we've got Bubbles going for the top, and of course he has a bottle. Flint does not, so only one bottle here on the Legion side. It is Grinix's, and that's not going to be very good for him, because he doesn't want to leave this lane against Hag, even if it is to get a rune, especially because Hag can very, very possibly beat him to that rune. Hag will have a bottle and a couple of gold. So, I'm not feeling this right now. Parasite, of course, getting shut down pretty hard. Manages to stop that Overgrowth as it was sort of placed in the wrong position. If you put it up on the cliff, he couldn't have blocked it. So you see up here, he's like, what? I can't do anything about this. I'm going to spawn in about 10 seconds. Parasite's guarding it. And look at the matchups here. Flint's doing pretty well in middle, level 5 to level 4. The stats say 11 to 3 now for Bubbles, and 16 and 11 here for Flint. So he's winning the CS battle. But up top, DD Rune and Parasite's going to be like, hello, that's mine, and now you're dead. Shell Surf obviously on cooldown. This is going to be a bloodlust. So, well done there to the Hellborn side, baiting out that rune up top. And it's interesting that the Overgrowth couldn't see Parasites in there for so long, but certainly well played to them. And that's going to help them out in mid, of course. As actually Okami gets denied on bot, but Angie's still in a bit of trouble here, taking a bunch of damage. Silhouette's actually taking a lot of tower damage here. And so there has one tree left, so they're probably going to have to fly out some more regen here if they want Syl to stay in this lane. Now the nice thing is, if Syl has to leave, so they can take the farm here and do something with it. That's a really confusing attack. Because it looks just like the Death Lotus. Why would you change the attack animation like that? That's terrible. She's been doing that. I'm like, is she activating her Death Lotus? No, she's not. She's just auto-attacking. That's extremely annoying. Anyway, up top, Hag is at 20 and 5 compared to Grinix at 20 and 4, so not really winning this lane. Penguin falls mid meanwhile. That's not that surprising. EW comes in from the side, Shell Surf will snipe him out, and that's enough. KAG is done. Misses. So this is what I was suggesting. When Bubbles hits 6, he can just kill this Flint. You know, Flint has 740 health, and now Bubbles has level 3 Shell Surf, level 2 Song of the Sea, and a Kelp Field. So this is going to be a dead Flint when he comes back to the lane because, you know, he has an empty bottle right now. Once he has the mana for all 3 spells, it's going to be a dead Flint, unless NG sits here. And it looks like he will. That's going to leave Magnus as a true suicide up against a pretty aggressive tri-lane here on bot. There has been some roaming with Emerald Warden playing middle as well, but I don't expect that to continue because Bubbles wants to get that solo experience. And I just... And the other thing is, like, you know, Bubbles is pretty squishy, and Flint's Flare and Ultimate do a lot of damage, but take cover is a thing, you know? So, unless Bubbles misplays here, take cover shouldn't, or his ult should never actually hit Bubbles. Bubbles has an illusion rune now, he's got all his spells up, he's probably looking for something. Looks like he's going to go down here for this Magnus, who's only level 4. Takes the silence. Shell Surf coming in from the side, this is going to be a death. Puts the Kelp Field down to guarantee it. And Lava Surge coming in, but actually it breaks the Kelp Field stun. As even sitting in that Shell Surf there, or sitting in the Steam Bath there, obviously he knows he's not going to live, because A, there's the Hunter's Command, B, there's the Poison Burst, or Poison Spray, and C, there's Bubbles' Shell Surf when it comes back off cooldown. So his options were essentially stay there and die, or come out and die. Slate on top gonna drop, as the Leech actually hits him. Hot Tower falls in favor of Legion, so 2 hero kills even here at this point. But a tower in favor of Legion, and they have a gold lead as a result. I really don't like. I don't mind the draft here from Hellborn. I think Legion's draft is actually far superior or inferior. They're all gonna die to this Parasite, basically. Like, they're all damn squishy. Nobody here is going like, oh yeah, I'll be able to eat 1500 burst magic damage and live. No, I mean they're all gonna die. And the initiation is good. The team fight is good. The gank potential is all right. But the other big thing is they have, well, 2 stuns, I guess. They have the Tree Grapple, which is extremely hard to land in positioning-based. Lava Surge coming in here on Silhouette, on top of the Face Hug Leech, and looking to stop her, she will die, so. Gets the Tree Grapple out, but obviously needs to activate that spell a second time in order to have it do anything. Unsuccessful. So, meanwhile, Penguin falls as he just gets jumped on. And there's that. Nice silence there. Bubbles will fall in response. Grinix coming in here looking for a chop onto Emerald Warden. Will put the Shadow Step in, and that's going to stun him. So just enough auto attacks there. I think he actually leaped out of the overgrowth in order to do that, which is pretty funny. That's the problem with immobilizes, people. They're not good. So Grinix NG here looking for something. Poison Spray goes out here onto Grinix, but he activates the Rift Stock. Hag coming in out from the side, and that will prevent Grinix from initiating on Slither. So, as I was saying, this Legion side, they've got team fight. They don't really have a really strong push. Now Grinix is in a lot of trouble. There's a tree grapple and he's dead, so. Off to the side over here, Hag and EW going up against Parasite and Engineer, with really most of the Legion team over here. Bubbles is off to the side, does not have a Kelp Field. Parasite takes over an Archer and get the hell out of there. Overgrowth gets put down, but he's going to break it, actually just dies. So much burst damage there. See the gold charts here substantially in favor of Legion, as the Hellborn lost mid, they lost bot real hard, and they didn't even win top really. Grinix is at 240 gold per minute, Hag's at 223. So Hag had a decent enough start for a suicide. Grinix just doesn't do that much as a suicide roll. Up top, Hag looking for a jump there. Deathblow just misses. Bat Blast misses. And now Silhouette's in some trouble. There's a Shadow Step after the Lava Surge, and she's going to try to run away. Not going to happen with the ultimate coming out from Grinix. Hag's in possibly a little bit of trouble, but the Overgrowth stops Magnus. And now the Legion side's going to chase a bit. Mid tower falls, of course, in favor of Legion. Over here, Bubbles getting initiation, and it looks like Grinix is taking a bunch of damage, but Bubbles will fall first. It actually gets denied there. And Magnus will live. Illusion not enough to kill him. Top tower falls in favor of Pingolin there, who's at 343 gold per minute, so not farming too bad, certainly, but is Flint. So let's talk pros and cons here. Pros, Legion team, they have lots of late game. Lots and lots and lots of late game. They've got pretty solid team fight. They've got decent gank. Not the greatest. Hag and Bubbles will be able to do a lot of burst damage, but Legion side have so many getaways that I suspect the only people they're going to kill until Flint gets his Shroud is Flint, and then after that, Angie. I think that eventually Flint with an Energizer, which he's definitely getting. He's also getting Ghost Marcher, so he probably will be a little too evasive for them to kill him, just a little too fast. Because eventually the burst damage from the Legion is not going to kill him. He'll be a little too tanky. Over here, Hag gonna get jumped by Parasite, and Flint puts the Sonar Scream out, and there's the Leech looking for the nice blink into the trees as they messed that up. But just go for the face hug, man. That would have killed him. I don't know why I decided to put the Leech out first. I guess for the additional damage. There's the jump on Bubbles. He's gonna take some damage on top of Flint ult, but actually Shell Surf. What the hell was that? Why would you do that? He was fine. If he shell surfed over the cliff and ported to it, he would have lived, no question. For some reason, threw it backwards and thought that was a good idea. So Flint finishes him off with a flare. But Khan's Legion, I cannot get over how few stuns they have. They have one real stun. And that's not even a good one with the tree grapple. They're squishy as hell. So they're gonna die a lot. Parasite gonna find EW here, puts the Overgrowth down. There's a Lava Surge on just her, and now she's in a lot of trouble. Puts the Silence onto Magnus. Magnus is gonna drop here. But Hag's in some trouble as well, as AW falls, of course. Hag blinks out. Gets a little tied up there with his teammate. Poison Ward going down, and we'll spot Engie. Actually, that catches him well, puts the energy field down to save himself. So they're trying to walk around it, but obviously not really a thing that you can do. And 3 heroes are grouped up here for the Legion side. So I am worried about Hellborn's late game potential here if this game does go for a while, but their mid game is so strong that they should be able to, you know, from the 15 to 30 minute mark or so, just turn this into a farm fest on Legion's heroes and eat them alive. Grinix over here with the Rift Stock, scouting some stuff out, and we'll get out as he realizes how many Legion heroes are down. Here it is, the entire team. Penguin free farming top once again. So 3 heroes here for Legion pushing. So there's faking that spray. Just looks like he's vomiting everywhere. She, I guess. Traps going down everywhere for EW. Soul picks up the steam boots, and there's a codex on Parasite. So still looking like she's going to go for the Nullstone. Probably a good idea here. Stopping a lot of Parasite stuff, stopping Flint's ultimate, stopping some Grinix stuff. PK away from Magmus, who actually, wow, that's a pretty fast portal key considering his start. 216 gold per minute, just went for it immediately. Illusion had to be jumped, but that's not going to do anything. Takes the Shell Surf and the Sonar Scream. Shadow Step in here, but the silence prevents him from doing anything. Rift Stock. God damn these abilities. Parasite over here looking for somebody. Hag's Illusion is in the jungle, but the real her is down here in bottom river. Mid-tail going to be pushed a little bit, as Legion's been playing extremely aggressive here, which is good, because their push isn't very strong, and I think they know they need to hem the opponents in so that they can't get the farm they need to start ganking really effectively. Now, blink in, there goes the Shellster follow-up. Kelphiel gets down on just Magmus. Ultimate there on the Hag, and she's going to die today. But so does Mag. Bubble's also in a lot of trouble. Will fall. EW going to fall as well. Now, Souther's going to get chased down a little bit. Overgrowth is there, but there's 4 heroes here from the Legion side, Hellborn side, and that's going to be an easy death. 4 for 1. So that's sort of what I was talking about. They died really fast. Hellborn's burst is so strong, and this Legion side just died. I mean, like, once Hag came in and put down a bunch of her damage, and then Bubbles came in and put down a bunch of his damage, all onto Magmus, which didn't immediately kill him, by the way. And for a jump here on Flint, gonna put the haunt there, and the Sonar Scream, he's just gonna run away. Shell Surf gets activated, they're gonna try to chase him down here. Isn't gonna be enough. Parasite coming in for the burst. Flint's gonna be killed thanks to the haunt. Oh god, yeah, there it is. And they actually pick off Nasty Baboon too up top. Silhouette now running away from Magmus, and he's gonna die, so that's a trade. Grinix for Silhouette, probably favoring the Hellborn, but in the meantime, Flint gets picked off middle. Up top here, the jump onto Magmus, plus the dust, and now he's dead. Shell Surf off to the side just in case. So good response here from Legion after they lost that team fight in middle. We'll pick up a few hero kills of their own and perhaps get a tower here. Whip goes out, and Kirsten on the Engineers coming to defend, but TPS Priceless is here. This is going to be a tower kill. Port coming in as well. It's not going to stop.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
EW puts the Overgrowth down, but that is perhaps not the best move, as Grinix is now chasing him. Bubbles is here as well. Puts the ultimate down, and Kelpfield onto Grinix. Obviously he's dusted as well, so Rift Stock not going to help him too much. Silence goes off, and how Legion's just getting the hell out of here. Overgrowth gets, but looking like Grinix is trying to sidestep it. That's not going to happen. Off to the side, Parasite putting a burst into Solaire. A couple more auto attacks. Gets the Poison Burst and Poison Spray off, but that's not going to be enough. Bubbles now looking for the cleanup here, I think. But it's not going to happen. Parasite's just a little too far away. So Parasite's probably going to love this. He's only 3-1 at 6 at this point, but it's basically going to be a continuous, you're going to die, and you're going to die, and you're going to die. Now Silhouette's in some trouble. Eruption getting channeled here. There's the Portal Key, and plus the Lava Surge, and the Flare, and that's a fake because Silhouette poured it out. So strong use of the ultimate there from Sil, easily preventing her death. And in middle, Hag jumping onto Grinix, but obviously has the Rift Stock, he'll be fine. Now in middle, Parasite looking for some burst on the Hag, who will be off in the trees over here. Of course, they see her with the Ward of Sight. She's going to blink away from the Shadow Step up to the Observatory. And it feels like they know where she is. They're going to spot her out here. Grinix ultimate going off, and she's going to blink over here. Now Magmus does not have enough of the Lava Surge, so Won't be able to do anything about that. Parasite leveling up his Codex in middle. Flint taking a bunch of damage. Kelfield, and so there's Spray going out. And he's probably going to drop here. Will he get denied? Yes. Well done. Now jump there onto Slither. He's pretty definitely dead. Put the leech on the keg stone. Bubble's going to fall first. Let's see if they can chase down Slither. Yes, they can. Rift Stalk from Grinix is active, and this is just no doubt going to be a kill onto him. Puts the Poison Spray down, not going to matter. So 2 for technically none, as Flint was denied, but he's still dead now, which means he can't farm. It's pretty important. But Hellborn taking a pretty good lead here, 1,200 gold and 6,600 experience. Considering they came out of the laning phase at a disadvantage in both resources, you can tell, like we're in this mid-game stage now where their heroes are going to do so much damage to the Legion, and Legion's playing extremely aggressively, which I do not agree with. They're at a point now, like, it was good earlier when they were taking towers all the time because they had enough early game burst, they had a good start, and they could do that sort of thing. At this point, they just need to farm. Red Ward goes down, going to spy out Grinix on top of the dust, and he's in a lot of trouble here. And he's going to try to do something. Overgrowth catches him, though, and is just dead. So, a fortuitous Red Ward there, as I think they were looking for wards, but they instead spot Grinix with the Invis Rune. Syl has finished up that Nullstone on top of Steam Boost Energizer, so she's farming pretty well at 442 gold per minute. Very well, in fact. And Syl continues to impress me with how well she can farm. Just never think of her as one of those elite farming heroes, but not bad. We're using that ultimate to provide some safety. And I'm going to push this bot tower here. Reasonable chance she gets it. She's going to put it within deny range, and Lava Surge for... Okay, that was interesting. Okami does get the deny in the tower, which is awfully important, but it was weird. Up top, meanwhile, Flint getting chased down. Dust of Red goes off. Bat Blast on top of him as well, and he's just going to get eaten here. As pretty much all of Hellborn's ward coverage is that. And also one down here. So they've got 2 wards in the river. Not too much in the Hellborn jungle, especially considering how mobile this Legion side is. They've got the Bubbles. He doesn't have a portal key yet, but he has a Shell Surf and Blink on Hag. And Bubbles will have his portal key in about a minute. Maybe literally less. He's got 1,900 gold. Up top, Parasite looking for a pick on Hag. If she pushes up at all, she's gonna die. She has 986 top health, but this is a problem for you, Hag. You're dead now. There's the face hug, and on top, just everything. Grinix can jump here, and this is a dead EW. Because for some reason Hag is that, like, why is Hag here? Do you expect that not to be responded to? Like, it's what's gonna happen. These guys keep playing so aggressive against a team that is extremely good at picking them off. Shadow Step in here, and so there's... Oh god, Astrolabe. Not going to be enough. Oh, really? The Poison Spray? Yep, there's the last auto attack, finally. Kelpfield goes down onto Grinix, though, and he's going to pay for this. Bubbles off to the side. Perhaps in some trouble, as... Yep, that's going to stop that, but... Codex. Codexes are funny. Mid-tower now going to push down will be a kill.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Hag jumping in here. Putting some damage onto Flint, but not enough. Off to the side silhouette, and Magmus sort of exploring each other's bodies. $22 in. Relatively static for Hellborn. About the same Golden Experience League. Hag and Illusion Rune down here, and this is going to benefit Legion. The longer they can keep this game at an equilibrium, the longer they can keep themselves in it, the better it's going to go, just because they have the late game here. Flint's extremely powerful, but so is Silhouette, and so is Hag. Jump there by Parasite, and god, Hag's pretty tanky. She's going to survive this. The Mystic Vestments. Oh, the Mystic Vestments. That's absolutely 100% what saved her there. Otherwise, she would have died, no question. So at this point, Hag not killable by Parasite. He does have a Codex level 3, so if that gets upgraded a couple more times, he will be able to kill her, but presumably she's going to be adding some strength, especially when she adds that Grimoire. She'll get some more damage. There goes a Silence and a Shell Surf onto Magmus. Going to drop the Sich Kelfield and the the silencing shot, so that's a pretty easy kill. Renix coming in here looking for the jump, and that will not actually stun. Take cover one off, looking for a pick there, and it's going to happen as Codex from Parasite finishes him off. So their EW getting chased down a bit, but they'll be alright. Overgrowth may get procced, but Parasite will kill it. More defensive wards here coming out for Hellborn. Not a surprise, especially as Flint continues to die regularly. 381 gold per minute here, so he's still farming pretty well, but 3, 5, and 9. Dying a little too much. And at this point, EW is food, Slither's food, and Bubbles is food for this Parasite. Silhouette won't die thanks to jump in here by NG, putting the field onto 2. Hag gonna take a ton of stuff, and she'll die. Poison Burst goes off onto a couple, but it's no saving Slither here, and that's gonna be a couple nice picks, as NG has the portal key already. 231 gold per minute somehow. That's really impressive. For a solo support engineer, that's a lot of farm. And it's really going to help their initiation, of course, being able to drop that energy field initially, putting the silence onto a lot of people, and especially for this Legion team is Mag down here is in some trouble. We'll just pour it out. But Kelp Field will stop that on top of the silence. And I'm going to take the Shell Surf as well. Nice Lava Surge out after the Steam Bath and Portal Key away. So he will live here. Yeah, he's going to be okay. Bubbles has PK, but he's not going to choose to follow it up. Up top, meanwhile, they're going to get the stun on the Cell Illusion, but it's just going to die. And she ports off. And we'll farm elsewhere. Over here, Slither and Parasite eyeing each other. Hag's here as well. Let's take a Magic Immune Creep is really impressive. On bot, Magmus and Bubbles going at it once again. Steam Bath gets activated. And not going to be a pick onto Magmus, as he's totally fine. So, Overgrothed. The thing I expect here for the Hellborn is lots of shrunken heads. Magmus already clearly working on one. So is, I don't know, Greatness Weapon going Shieldbreaker with that Warhammer. And I would assume that Flinty will get one too. Just there's so much magic damage here on the Legion side. And, Silhouette will provide a lot of right clicks as well. But if you get that shrunken head up early, like it's so hard for them to touch you. Huge jump there on Hag, just barely going to survive thanks to the Poison Spray. And now Parasite's in some trouble. Going to drop the energy field. He won't hit Hag, and now she's going to fall in anyway. Deny there on Parasite, not going to be successful. Shadow Step Line on Slither, so he's going to fall. At this point, it's a 1 for 2 in favor of Legion. Now it's going to be a 2 for 2 as Grinix is in a lot of trouble, will die. Flint coming in off to the side. Trying to get some damage here on the Bubbles. It's hitting him pretty damn hard. But Silhouette's off to the side. Will not actually stun Flint. Keg stun going to hit Sil as Lob Surge hits 2. Now I'm going to take Bubbles out. No, he's going to be able to Shell Surf away. Silhouette horse away with the Illusion, and Emerald Ward throws out a couple of wolves. So 2 for 2 there in favor of Legion as they lose support for 2 farmers on Hellborn. But Hellborn are going to turn this into a bot tower push, or top tower push. One of them towers push. And they're continuing to expand their gold lead and experience lead, as they're still really in that window of we're going to be really powerful. And obviously, the bigger the gold lead they have, the longer they'll be able to extend that window. The more pickoffs they get, the harder it'll be for Legion to recover. So, yeah, at this point, they should be good for at least the next 5 or 10 minutes. Before things really start to turn. Once again, my Facebook. I'm so damn popular. And sorry, that happens on Honcast a lot. I'm watching it, I'm like, doo-doo. Was that me? Was that Breaky? And it's always Breaky. This time it's not. I feel so loved. So 28 minutes in here, lead for the Hellborn team, no doubt. They're going to have to continue to put the pressure on, though, because obviously Legion's heroes will take them pretty well into the late game. And Legion really doing what they should be at this point, which is playing somewhat conservatively. Silhouette probably shouldn't be doing too much river crossing at this point. Hag possibly can just because she's strong enough. Going to jump this Parasite, in fact, and now he's in some trouble. Puts the burst onto Hag, and he's not going to get the kill thanks to the Astrolabe. So well played there from Sother. Kagusan not going to hit anything. Meanwhile, off to the side, now Engineer is in a lot of trouble. Gets the Kelp field on him. He's going to put the energy field down, but it's not going to save him. Easily dead. It's 2-0 there in favor of Legion, and they're starting to pull this back now. So you can see that's the sort of thing that's becoming a problem. All of a sudden, Parasite cannot burst. Although, to be fair, in that situation, he probably would have killed Hag without the Astrolabe. But earlier, it was just like, no question, it was an easy get. Now, jump here on EW, and Krenix is going to get this pick. Meanwhile, 2 heroes over here from Legion, and Hag and Bubbles looking for Flint. Will find him. And he could run right into an overgrowth here. Will, in fact, and he's going to get locked down. That's a bit of an issue. Krenix putting up the Shrunken Head. So he did go for that. Hag now getting locked down a fair bit, but blinks away and we'll be alright. Krenix looking for a selection here. On to somebody. Bubbles is invis with a bit of a fortuitous rune. So scouting out the Hellborn team here, checking out their Ancients. Don't snipe them, Bubbles. I know you want to, but don't snipe them. He's gonna, and that's gonna be a bit of an issue. Oh boy, see, I told you not to do it. Take cover. But it's not gonna, I told you not to do it, man.
The juice is loose.
I told him not to do it. I was like, don't snipe them, it's not gonna end well. And what did he do? He sniped them, and then he died. Next, now looking for a jump on Slither here. So they're gonna spot him out. Parasite's here as well. Wordsight will, or Poison Word, excuse me, will spot them, so Slith knows exactly what's going on. Wretched Hag out here farming the jungle, and she needs to be a little careful. Has Blink, obviously. We'll get the hell on out of there, because she's super low at this point. So Hag will normally live through Parasite's burst, but if she's at a quarter of her health, then obviously no, she won't. And TBS prices on the CW down here as well, looking for some protection of his buddy. Still up here, we'll find a mine and a lava surge. This is going to be ported out, though. Yep, there it is. TBS prices on bot, meanwhile falls, presumably thanks to Mr. Parasite. Krenix ultimate will catch him, and that's, hello, I have vision. Shadow Step there stops the port and the Codex, because Parasite's a bitch. Even though Krenix did like all of the work there, stopped the TP, finding the hero in the first place, and Parasite's like, no, I'll take that, thanks. Hit him so well, that's true. Codex 5, obviously on Parasite, 31 minutes, that's not bad at all. Legion perhaps looking for some counters on those heroes that are trying to induce fear in their own team. Still taking some Ancients here, a little low, but obviously with a Nullstone feeling a lot safer, for good reason. Up here, Krenix has a regen rune active, gets a lot of damage off here though, and we'll have to activate the Shrunken Head and run away. So like I said, he did choose to go for the Shrunken. That's going to be Magnus's next item as well. Flint, in fact, went for a Dawnbringer. So a little more of an aggressive item, and he better hope that they don't catch him. They've got a Bubbles and a Hag though, so now dust onto Krenix there, plus the face-on combo to onto Hag, and she will die. Krenix now still in some trouble, takes the Kelp field. He will fall, but Bubbles is now in a lot of trouble. Going to get killed by Penguin's ultimate, so 2 for 1 there in favor of Hellborn as they pick off both Hag and Bubbles for just the Krenix. Plus, they dropped a couple ultimates there as well. Parasite going to spot out Slither here, puts the leech down, and he's looking for more silencing shot there. But Codex is available. Poison Burst also up. He has Face Hug, it's just he was silenced. Overgrowth there going to stop them. And Parasite going to be okay. Probably going to take a creep here and immediately kill it, get some health back. Bot tower will be pushed, glyph active, but it's not going to stop anything.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
So Parasite's heading back to base. 3 heroes for the Hellborn side. Grouping up on bot and pushing in. 540 gold per minute on still. So Flint's doing pretty well himself, but the other thing you have to consider though is the Syl at this point is like all of the Legion team. I mean, it's pretty clear here that she's got like half the gold on her team. Port coming in top. There's a jump. Actually, Lava Surge misses, and she just ports out. So she'll be fine. Takes the tower kill. Well played there. Now going to push middle, and this is the last outer tower here for the Hellborn. Going to be a pretty easy death there. Now they're looking for a pick on Engineer, as obviously Sajmate's doing a ton of work. Parasite getting caught out here is silenced and slowed. Silhouette running away will be able to successfully port out. Meanwhile, on the side, Grenix jumping this EW will kill him. On the other side, Hag gonna die. Actually, as the stun lasting just long enough. So Hellborn loses their final outer tower, but they get a couple hero kills out of it. Now, so they're in some trouble. Grenix is here, gets the dust on him, plus the poison spray, but activates the Shrunken Head, and there's an easy kill on Slid. Silhouette now finally here looking to do something. Magnus taking a bunch of damage, but obviously the steam back will be mostly okay. Flare goes down, Bubble's going to try to port away, and he will be successful. Looks like Magnus is here. He's got very little mana, managed to PK on out. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to fall. Oh, Silhouette wants this kill. Nicely picked right there. Obviously that hero is extremely mobile. Ultimate coming out from Engineer does not catch anybody, as actually splits up, and most of the Parasite's combo goes onto her illusion, but now she's in some trouble, and she will drop here. So perhaps a little too aggressive, trading her life for that of Magnus. Not a good idea. The other thing you have to consider here is Hellborn's cooldown's really short. Bubble's looking for the initiation, and then thinking maybe not a great idea. Silhouette actually buying back, and this is going to be Grenix's death. Bit of an interesting buyback there from Silhouette. Almost certainly wasn't needed. That might have been one of those farm buybacks where you're like, I want to keep up my GPM, make sure I don't lose too much farm, and all the time I'm dead. She's level 22, so her respawn timer at this point is well over a minute. And I think Legion are looking to do something to end this game relatively soon. Pingling going to be found here, and there's a bunch of heroes on him, so he's in a ton of trouble. Going to get dropped there. There's the kill field on him, and he's now dead. There's the stun, everything. No question he goes down there. It's actually had an onslaught streak, so that's really impressive. I didn't realize that when he kills, all of a sudden he was 9, 6, and 9. He was 3, 5, and 7 before. So getting a bunch of kills in a row. Obviously that helps his GPM up to 450, but still well below that Silhouette. And a little more spread farm on his team, but Legion have some decent farm on both Hag and Bubbles. A little interesting, Hag with that Grimoire, only at 330 gold per minute, mostly because Silhouette's been taking a lot of it, but also because I guess she just hasn't been farming all that well. She's died 7 times, so that's a pretty big consideration. Slate not doing the greatest here. Up top, Legion side going to push this in. 3 heroes here already, and Scylla and Hag are both relatively close. Looks like Hellborn are geared for a defense. And their anti-push isn't the greatest, so that can be an issue. Jumping here by NG hits a lot of them on top of the eruption from them. And Grenix ultimate going to help take down Bubbles. TPS priceless falls as well. Silhouette off to the side looking to take a bunch of damage. She dies. Hag going to be able to pick off Magnus now. Engineer going to fall as well. But that's going to be it so far. In the meantime, Grenix off chasing people down. Silhouette, so they're going to port away, be fine, but not going to be the same for Slate there as he dies. Silhouette buys back again. That was a terrible buyback. Ended up being a 4 for 2 in favor of Hellborn, as they had a really, really nice initiation there from Magnus and Engineer. And Grenix, to be sure, obviously dropping that ultimate on a bunch of heroes. Sill's out of buybacks for no reason. That was an extremely, extremely premature buyback. And I don't know why she used it. I really don't. Like, Hellborn were not going to push the lanes in, even though they had a 4-for-2 there. You know, 3 heroes. They don't have the best pushing team to begin with. Parasite, Grinix, and Flint is not going to push that hard. And still looking for a jump here onto Flint. By herself, might not be able to kill him. Here goes Tree Grapple, and the jump here, stun will hit. Can take a bunch of damage while Flint, but he's just going to try to run away here. Puts the flare down, and the Energizer gets popped. Running back. Yeah, and Soul just doesn't have the damage there. Now Grinix is here. They're going to try to redo this. There goes the ultimate, and Soul splits up, switches, but now she's in some trouble. And now she's dead. So hanging around way too long there. I don't know what the hell she's doing all of a sudden. She farmed so well for 35 minutes, then decides to use both of her buybacks in situations where she did not need to. My Facebook. Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? As they see, the wolf going in, but the port's already gone, so... Anyway, uses both of her buybacks in situations where she doesn't need to. Tries to get a kill on Flint by herself, which was pretty assuredly not going to happen. And then stays in to get picked off by Grinix after it doesn't. Like, you know, if you don't get the pick there, you don't have enough team support nearby to be able to stay in the lane. Like, Sill's a really strong single target hero, but she's also relatively squishy even with the Nullstone. And she just won't stand up to that much damage. Flint now with a wing bow. So Savage Mace countering that somewhat, but still a strong item offensively, obviously. Haste Rune picked up there from Grinix. Will put the Shadow Step on and take the Kelpfield Stun. He's in trouble, but TPS prices immediately gets dropped. Shrunken Head on Grinix. Probably should have caught that a little earlier, but won't take any damage from Poison Slay as a result. Bubble's going to fall in the meantime, but so they will be able to pour it out. So that's 2 kills there on top of Silhouette, who's already dead for the Hellborn team. And 4 heroes up here, perhaps looking to push the tower now. Man, Facebook, what the hell is going on with you? So Mag and Grinix here are pushing in, and it looks like the rest of the Hellborn team is joining them. Somewhat slowly, but they're coming in. EW will be back in about 10 seconds, so they're putting up wards there to help counter the push. Flare gonna get dropped, so Flint can just be like, I'll siege this tower. Glyph goes out, and... yeah, he doesn't care. Man, he's destroying that tower. Always gonna be back in 20 seconds, and we'll see how much of this the Hellborn want to pursue. Flint getting some money from those poison wards. Not that much, but a fair bit. Porting back bot, as Silhouette has been pushing this up. That's a fake, obviously the real one's down here in the jungle. So at this point, all of a sudden the Hellborn have a 10k gold lead and a 2200 experience lead, which doesn't make any sense considering Legion were bringing this back. And at this point, their team should be getting stronger faster than the Hellborns does, because Parasite's starting to fall off a little bit. Grinix is actually doing pretty well thanks to the shield breaker, so he's still putting out a bunch of damage. Magnus is a little less impressive. He's still pretty tanky though, so especially with that Shrunken Head, it's going to be a little difficult for Legion to kill them. And that Portal Key and Steam Bath obviously don't hurt. Next, we'll be able to bottle up that Illusion Rune. Bound Eye on Slither, scouting for some wards. Obviously, they're going to see Grinix here. And he's going to jump in here with a Shrunken Head, and I don't know what the plan is here. There's 4 heroes here for the Legion. Eruption being charged up by Magnus will take the Bat Blast, so he can't actually do anything with that, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Grinix off to the side as Okami falls. Fake Grinix will die. So that was an interesting decision there to erupt right in front of everybody's face. He took the Bat Blast so he couldn't Portal Key. And now Legion figuring that's a good enough pick to start to push middle, and probably they're right about that. So I have 5 heroes grouped up here. Should be able to take these towers relatively quickly. And Magnus has no buyback. not feeling content here for some reason to try to push this out. It's interesting the Silhouette did not go the Geometer's Bane. Usually that's a very popular item on her for the illusions, obviously just doing tons of damage, but in this situation evidently not the case. So they're not going to push this. Even without Magmus, not feeling content. And this is, I think, another function of not having a tank. There's nobody up there that's really interested in going, yeah, I'll take all the tower damage. The supports are too squishy to do it, and obviously the farmers are like, well, I need my damage to be in the background. I can't get jumped on. So they're going to go for a Convoy instead, going to make them feel a little more secure about jumping into the base. It should be pretty easy, and should be a token on Silhouette once she drops her port.
Kongor has been slain.
Actually, it's going to be Hag that picks it up. A little surprising. Especially because Silhouette has no buybacks. Jumping here on Hag, and she's going to take a bunch of damage. Silhouette going to counter-initiate, but Hag is going to be able to blink away. Now, Akami on Magmus is going to die. As Silhouette trying to get away, it's not going to happen there. She's just taking too much damage too fast. They're chasing her down. Codex will finish it off. Meanwhile, Person falls in the background as Kelfield goes onto 2. Poison bursts off to the side, but Bubble's now running away. So are both supports, and Flint's trying to chase him down. Is he going to be able to get anything? Port will not be stopped. Another port will not be stopped, so bit of bad luck there from Flint as he doesn't get any headshots or hollow point shells. But they pick off the Sil, lose 2 in exchange. Not a bad trade, as both both Magmas and Engineer combined are worth less than that Silhouette at this point. And of course, Sil being dead for 45 seconds, so token still was actually used on Hag somehow. Anyway, so they had the con kill, but immediately lose the token and their carry. And for some, I just don't understand why you wouldn't put that token on Silhouette. Like, it's important that she has the port, but it's more important that she has a token, because she has no buybacks. Like, I'm really shocked she used that second one. Like, it's one thing to use your first one a little aggressively. The second one was ridiculous. There's no way that should have happened. Flint up top, pushing this by himself. As he is awfully fast and has a TP, so if he gets jumped on, he'll be able to get out of here. So looking for a jump on him, not going to happen, and so he'll just TP on out. Has 5,000 gold saved up here. I assume he's going for another damage item. Savage Mace makes a ton of sense. Geometer's Bane instead. Can't fault that at all. Bubble's going to jump in here off to the side, but Engineer going to be able to port the away before anything happens. Push books himself forward. It's just, you're not going to catch this man. So 45 minutes in this game, Legion should be in a position where they can win, and they're not, because Silhouette's doing crazy stuff. 2 outer towers remaining here for Legion's side, and it looks like they're going to try to push bot on Hellborn. But Legion looking to push top themselves. Silhouette's up with the creep wave, and 4 heroes in here in the jungle here aggressively for the Legion. And perhaps looking for a push, perhaps not. We'll see. I'm going to grab a haste rune up here. And now they've grouped up. Port obviously available on everybody on the Hellborn except for Krenix, who's right next to the mid anyway, and they're going to take this bot tower relatively easily. This Flint hits real hard. Meanwhile, Hag getting jumped by Krenix. She puts the shrunken head up, and she's just going to run away. Up top, the base tower getting taken out. Not that fast. Beautiful fortification will go off. Flint is here. Jumps the energy field, but Silhouette just ports out energy, and Bubbles is going to be alright. Kelpfield goes on to Flint. He'll be able to get out of there. Silhouette over to the side. Parasite finds her, but is going to do anything. Nullstone gets proc there by the leech, but that's going to be it. Off to the side. Now Grenix finding Hag, but Hag is hasted, of course. So Hellborn get the bot secondary tower. They traded it for a bunch of damage on their base tower. Probably not a great idea, but oh well. At least the tower's dead. Mid, the last outer tower remaining. Meanwhile, Silhouette has an invis rune, so she's perhaps looking for a jump onto somebody. I think it's definitely going to be Flint that she's after. Angie's here as well, but has the bound eye, so spots her out. And she will portal key away. So now we're getting into the realm of exactly how hard can Flint carry. Because he's going to need to outcarry the Silhouette, who still has... No, actually, he's taken over the GPM lead. Shockingly, that's amazing. But Hag now getting up to the 400 gold per minute range thanks to her Grimoire, so he's going to have to outcarry both of them. He's getting some pretty solid team support here. Grinix is doing plenty of damage, so is Parasite and Magnus. And obviously the team fight is reasonably strong here for the Hellborn side, especially the initiation with that portal key on Engineer. But he's still going to have to pound in a lot of damage. It really does help, though, that Legion side is just so damn squishy. Hag has 2,300 health, and Silhouette has 2,100, but there's 2,300 on Flint, there's 22 on Grinix, 16 on Magnus, 23 on Parasite. They have a lot of damage, or a lot of health. Cliff goes off, and this mid tower is going to fall.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
Sil pushing top, Bubble's pushing bot, but they basically have a free tower there, and it looks like they're going to group up here and go for a base race, which they could very well win. Hagslayer and EW are down here to try to defend this, but this tower is dropping very fast, and Flint's just sieging it.
Catch them.
Hunter's command going off there, Sil does port back to base, Bubble's still pushing bottom, and he will get this tower.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
He could probably stay, actually. If I were him, I would have stayed. Port back there, you gotta force more ports from Hellborn. It will be Flint, so that's going to be a successful tower kill there for Legion, and up top taking more damage. Sheepstick finish on Hag. And Sil is finally going for the Geometer's Bane. Probably should have gotten that earlier, would have really helped with them sieging the base there, if you can just send the illusions in to do a bunch of damage. And help you tank. Hag off inside. We'll get the Sheepstick there onto Slacker on Parasites. That's it though, obviously. And Legion once again pushing over here. Sil has enough for her Geobane, so I don't know why she doesn't just buy it. I think she has with the couriers over here. It's not like she needs to save for buyback or anything. Shadow Step there, and a Hex onto Hag. He's going to take a ton of damage, just immediately drop. Kelfield into 4, but they don't really care because they're like, whatever, we're going to eat that. Silhouette does the illusion out, so she's not going to die here, but Bubbles is in a lot of trouble. Puts the take cover and a Shell Surf off, but it's not going to be enough. She dies as well. It's 2 for nothing there in exchange for the Hellborn. And the only cooldown they've used there is the energy field, obviously. That's really most of their ultimates are extremely short cooldowns. Parasite, Flint, and Grinix all have like 30 seconds or less on their ultis, and they're gonna now use this to push bottom or mid, which makes all of the sense in the world. Poison spray there on Flint, but he'll just pop the Geoband, which will remove the debuff, of course, and there goes the tower. Now they're working on the racks. Silhouette's alive here. Apparently doesn't want to initiate. Grinix in the front line is going to take a bunch of damage here. Will drop here as Silhouette out activates for Shrunken Head. Eruption getting channeled off in the back, and that's going to do a ton of damage to Slither, and his Void Talisman will go off, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to drop Shrunken Head on Flint, being able to prevent a ton of the damage, especially from the Poison Burst. And now they're going to work on these racks here, as Sil is basically by herself. Hag buys, no, does not buy back, actually just respawns now. A Sheepstick onto her once again, though, and she's going to take a bunch of damage. Shrunken Head activated from Parasite, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to drop Sheepstick there onto Engineer, and he's going to take a death. Storm Spirit is there, but it's not going to be enough. Ultimate there, and they try to pick off Hag with a Lava Surge, but it's not going to happen. So Hellborn should be content to take a Rax there. Tries to stop the port from Magnus. Nope. Hellborn is certainly content to take a Rax, and back the hell on out. Only Flint and Magnus alive, so looks like Legion will be attempting a counter push here. And they're just going to go straight for bot. Magnus Eruption not available. Jumps in, activates the Geometer's Bane. This is going to be a bunch of damage onto these Rax. Glyph goes out, will slow them down a lot, but Flint's like, hey, I've got Geobane illusions too. And Kelpfield goes on to him and one of his illusions. And this is going to be a bot Rax kill. And Silhouette will just TP out with her illusion, so. Counter there. 1 Rax for 1 Rax, as Legion take mid and Hellborn take bot. It's a slight advantage for the Legion just because the mid creeps get there a little quicker. Obviously, they cross the map straight diagonally instead of down through the bottom. Man, Bubbles is taking a lot of damage. Easily dies there. Flint hits so hard at this point. Renek's popping the ultimate, but will find Hag. That's it. Activates the Shrunken Head. Ultimate from Flint actually doesn't do stuff because the Shrunken Head on Hag didn't go off until just then, but she will pop the Shrunken and get the hell out of there. Port boots on Syl, as she definitely needs those. And she's capped. So unless she wants to rebuy the Shrunken, which presumably she will do, it's an H, I guess. She's already rebought it. Makes sense. Kong going to be tempted here by Hellborn's side, and that's actually going down really fast. Silhouette will be able to get this top, but she dies. Thanks to the burst, and that's a Conqueror kill. Oh boy. Token onto Flint. What a surprise. They put the token onto their hard carry. It's amazing. What a theory. And are they just going to rush middle? They already have the Rax here, obviously. Probably going to try to finish it off and take a second lane. Token on Flint basically means he can do whatever he wants. Silhouette said for 50 seconds. Interesting that NG is the only team support here, but the rest of the Hellborn side is coming in, and this will be an easy finish on these mid-racks. Glyph goes off, not going to stop too much.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
So we see a throne, or are we going to see another lane get chopped down here? Ah, looks like they're going for the throne. And it's getting taken down rather quickly, these base towers. Poured in with a post-haste from Parasite, going to be a Sheepstick immediately there on the Grinex. Going to put Bat Blast onto a few. Kelpfield as well, Hellflower on the Grinex, but a Sheepstick there on the Bubbles, and he's dead so fast. Shrunken Head's going off all over the place. And trying to put the ultimate down his Engineer, but it's not going to happen. Gets Storm Spirit, but so many deaths here. Slate, Hag, Bubbles, and EW all falling. Slither there, also going to die. Silhouette finally respawns, and EW buys back, but we'll see how much they can actually do with this. EW dies again in the well. And Penguin at this point is just eating people. He's a token, of course, so he's like, I don't care. Wow. That's game. Still can't buy back. No buybacks on anybody in the Legion side. They're dead for 45 seconds. That's...
Hellborn wins.
It's surprising that they managed to win the game that went this long, but it was 54-30 hero kills, so there's that. And just Silhouette with the buyback decisions early on made no sense. Don't know why that happened. And, oh, I don't know, man. Pretty solid game here in Game 2. Goes to Sweep Super Series, and as a result, we have a series tie. So we're going to Game 3, and that's pretty damn exciting because we've had 2 strong matchups here so far. So nicely played here by the Hellborn side, and we'll see you.